Welcome back to lecture number 1.2e. We have already given small videos, or I have recorded small videos for you under lecture number 1.2 A to D. In this particular lecture, what we are going to evaluate is estimation of material removal rate in face milling, and we are going to answer an important question, is that whether generalized approach of VCS and T can be used in face milling or not. Estimation of material removal rate in face milling, learning that, is that going to be useful for any kind of grinding process? Yes, there is a very similar, kinematically similar grinding process which is called vertical spindle surface grinding, where the same kinematics of face milling is used. In such a surface grinding process, one can use a reciprocating table or one can use a rotary table. In both of them, these approaches can be implemented or utilized to calculate material removal. This particular one is going to be very, very interesting. So this is the face milling situation. So this is your face milling cutter. If you cannot relate to face milling at this stage, stop this video, go to YouTube and search for a face milling video. It will become clear. So this is the cutter. These yellow ones are the cutting edges, or rather they are the inserts which undertake the cutting. This is the job. This is the surface number 1, which is the finished surface. This is surface number 2, which is the unmachined surface. This is the surface number 3, which is, we are calling it transient surface. Earlier also I have used this surface, is not constantly available. It is getting regenerated in each pass, and the cutter is rotating in this direction with a velocity of Vc, and it is advancing in this direction, rather the job is coming in this direction with a feed rate of Sm, and feed rate can be calculated as feed per tooth into number of cutting edges or insert and rotational speed. Here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cutting edges. So here for this particular one, this is 9 cutting edges. This is not important. I am just showing you the number of cutting edges, what I mean by number of cutting edges and all. Now, how to calculate the material removal rate? Once again, the same projected area. So this particular surface, which has been shown as surface number 4, is nothing but the projected area of this transient surface, and that would be T into B. So T into B with the extrusion rate or the feed rate, that has to be multiplied, and that will give you a material removal rate of pi T into SNZ into B. Now for this particular machining process, what we are doing is that we are assuming a situation, like this, that, or I will draw it top. We are assuming a situation like this, this is the job and this is the cutter. This is rotating in this direction. The width of the job and the diameter of the cutter, they are the same. So what we have done is that this is Vc equal to pi dn, n is this much, and one more assumption we have done. This particular cutter is not having 9 cutting edges as we have already counted. Instead of that, it is having only 1 cutting edge. Such a cutter, does it exist? Yes, such a cutter does exist in industry, and that is called fly milling cutter. When you cannot when you do not have a face milling cutter of a particular size, then you can use a HSS insert, HSS cutting tool, or even a carbide cutting tool, and build your own ply milling cutter like this, where Z is becoming 1. So with this simplification, what happens? This B gets replaced by D. Why does it get replaced? Because you have this situation or you have this situation. T remains T, which is the depth of cut. This is T, and S becomes S because your Z is 1. Z is 1, and N gets replaced here from this particular equation. So if you simplify, you will get a material removal rate like this. Strangely, a pi is appearing here. One must mention this situation is only valid when this is valid. That means you are face milling a job whose width is B and its cutter diameter is DC and B is equal to DC. In such a situation, this is a special situation, your MRR, even under special situation, MRR is not matching. A pi is appearing in the denominator. So what is the, why is it appearing? Let us try to evaluate. And during evaluation of the process, I will introduce a new concept which would be useful for you in general in machining, but not to that extent in grinding. But this concept, whatever we have written here, this particular concept, that would be very much useful in case of vertical spindle surface grinding. This approach would be 1:1 applicable. Now let us go to why this pi is appearing. So what is happening? The cutter is entering machining from this particular place. Here it is there in another situation. Here it is there. So this is called the instantaneous engagement angle. Now this instantaneous engagement angle I have zoomed over here, but before that one can say this is the exit angle, which is denoted by this. This is the entry angle, which is denoted by this. So the engagement angle is varying from -90 to 0 degree to +90. This is called entry angle. This is called exit angle. And this is the current position of the cutter, for which I have zoomed the view over here. So what is this? This is feed. Anywhere you draw, this feed is not changing. However, this is not the material which is being removed. Material which is being removed by the cutter, if this is the insert, so this is the feed. This is the feed, instantaneous feed. So instantaneous feed can be given as S cos psi I. So this is your psi I. So if I assume that this is 90 degree, so this is cos psi I. So that is the instantaneous feed. Because the instantaneous feed is varying, as you can see here, the instantaneous feed is less, here it is even less. So instantaneous feed is varying from the entry angle to exit angle. So what I am doing is that I am doing SI T psi I, and I am integrating from -90 to +90, and that will give me the average feed, or which is quite often called true feed. We will use the term average feed, that you can relate to it much more easily, and if you do that, your average feed comes out to be this. So what would be your material removal rate? Material removal rate is VC. Feed will get replaced by average feed and depth of cut. So VC into average feed into depth of cut. But strangely enough, for my convenience or what, I don't know, I have introduced a 2 over here. Why is it so? Because a cutting edge which is starting to cut, at this particular location and ending the cut at this particular location, when it is moving in this direction, it is not removing any material. So out of its 360 degree rotation, only for 180 degree it is cutting. So rest of the time it is not cutting. So I have introduced that only half of the time it is cutting. So I am dividing it by 2. Then if you simplify, it is becoming VC into T by 2, and S average gets replaced by 2 pi. So here you had 2 pi into S, and if you simplify it, it becomes MRR equal to VCS into T divided by pi. That means using the concept of average feed or true feed, it is possible to calculate material removal rate using the generalized approach of VCS and T. You will have something in the denominator, and that something in the denominator will come from two places. What is your average feed, and for what fraction of the total rotation there is actual cutting operation. So this concept, we are introducing many things here. One is the concept of average feed. This would be very useful later on for machining application, to some extent in grinding application as well. And in the previous slide, this approach, this particular approach what we have taken, that would be 1:1 applicable in case of vertical spindle surface grinding. Once again, thank you for your attention. We'll meet you once again in a new video.